When I've done seminars or just surveys of agents and asked them, how often do you go face to face back with your current seller? And why won't you go back face to face ever? In some cases, it's really ever, that they just don't get back out to meet with their clients. We've discovered that that mindset tends to be an agent who sells around 50% of their inventory. And I know you might be saying, well, Brian, I don't see my people face to face, and I sell all my inventory. Well, great. That's great. When I do seminars, I usually have each agent's performance information in front of me. It's called the big picture. I know an agent's production numbers at the events I'm at, and it's really funny how agents will tell me, I sell everything I take. I literally had an agent state in front of me, and he said that he sold all his inventory last year. And I remember saying to him, well, let me ask you this listing and this listing, well, those people weren't motivated. They were unrealistic. I don't count that. I said, well, it's a part-time job that you took for about 180 days and it didn't sell. Did you service the seller on the phone? Did you ever have to replenish the brochures? Did you ever hold it open? So it's a part-time job that you invested in. And when you had that part-time job, were you able to do other lead generation? But were you tied up? Well, I did some lead generation, but I was tied up. Well, how many hours go into a listing you have for half a year? Whatever the case, we didn't have to go down his list. What I wanted to show him was there's a tremendous amount of inefficiency that happens with listings that don't sell. They eat into our profit, which are hours that we have. So here are some of the reasons agents, I'm not sure you've ever used this, but agents have said, you know what, the seller's not going to go anywhere. I have the listing. They're not going to go anywhere. So I'm in no hurry to go back face to face. What are they going to do, fire me? You know what, I'm too busy chasing leads. I got lead generation every day, which is a great thing to have every day. However, not at the expense of not contacting our clients first. I'm all for prospecting, networking, marketing, but I think it should be after we've served our clients. And when we serve ourselves first, because we're prospecting, and we serve our clients second, would you want that? I mean, if you were a buyer or a seller in the marketplace, would you want the agent lead generating for themselves or actually serving you first? Because what we find is a lot of the agents don't actually have time after they've done their own prospecting for self to actually get with their clients. You know what? They'll be there anyway tomorrow. We could take them for granted. You know what? The seller is unreasonable and they won't listen to me. This listing won't sell anyway. Why bother? I've had agents say that to me, like, why bother going face to face with them? They're unrealistic. And the agents tend to blame the seller or the economy, when in reality, no seller that I know has ever pointed a gun at a real estate agent and said, you must take it at my price. It was always a choice. So the person to blame is not the seller, it's not the economy, it's the agent who filled in that listing agreement and took the listing. We are responsible for taking the overpriced listing. And then we're responsible then to make changes to it if necessary. So this was just a recap of why agents have said that they don't go back for price reductions. Basically, the relationship isn't worth it. The probability of the listing selling isn't high. So what the heck? I'll just keep it because I'm getting buyer calls and what have you. And just one last thing here. We have a program that I recommend called the R&R. That's going back to a seller face to face and saying I've got a reduction on the listing agreement here to what I think the market should say it is with supporting data, right? Or a release of the listing, which takes a lot of courage. And there's some brokers that don't let a listing go. We want market share. Whether it sells or not, it's not always important to us. We want market share. We want signage. We want buyers calling off that listing. Well, again, that attitude, I believe, reflects serve ourselves first, the client second, because the client who you have listed could be getting a mortgage, could have had their home inspected, could have told all their friends, could have told their kids where they're moving to, could have invested time looking at properties, and could have fixed their property up to sell it. And we want to retain that listing just to serve ourselves, and the seller has to leave the house for showings all the time, whether it's raining or shining or snow or whatever the case, I really believe we should do the R&R program. If we know this thing is not going to sell at our price, either reduce it or release it and move on to a part-time job that pays. All right. Thanks for watching.